Traders at Axis Bank expect the bullish sentiment at the bond market to persist, though at a moderate pace, as investors continue to monitor liquidity conditions. Now on the T-bill side, the 7th April 2026 and September 3rd 2026 maturities are the most active papers. Kinskin Ukeje, Treasury Team Member at Axis Bank, joins me now for more market movements. Kinskin, thanks a lot for joining us on the show today. Like we always do, let's start off with liquidity position at this moment. We've seen a little bit of a decline here due to the CRR maintenance. Walk us through the movements we are having in the numbers.
All right, thank you very much, David, for having me. As seen last week, and we saw about 250 billion decline to open this week at 1.97 trillion in credit. We've seen it also open today at 1.89. That's about 1.90 trillion. That's a marginal decline from where it started on Monday. So the market is quite fairly liquid. What we'll be seeing from the CBN is maybe given the maturity that happened yesterday, we should see the CBN maybe conduct an auction to take up some of the market liquidity.
And walk us through the details of the auction from yesterday.
No, there was no auction for yesterday. It was an maturity.
Maturity, I beg your pardon. Yeah. So now, getting into what we also expect in terms of movement in the bond market, where are we seeing the most trading action? Where are the rates at this moment?
Okay, for the bond market and generally the fixed income market, we've seen it trade bullish. On the bonds, we've seen activities on the 29s, the 31s, and the 33s. What we've seen is that investors are trying to lock in rates on the expectation of a rate cut that are to come in maybe by the end of this month. Also on the T-bills end, we've seen much activity and increased demand on the NTB side. On the long end, we see the September 3rd, 2026 trading actively in the market. And also for the auctions, we've seen maturities within February and April 2026 trading actively at around 21.5%. And that of the one-year NTB auction, we've seen it trading at 17.4%.
And now, when we're looking at FX movements as well, now we see the sustained interventions from the central bank. But walk us through how you're seeing the Naira perform against the greenback and other global currencies.
What we've seen from closing last month into this month, we've seen appreciation on the Naira compared to the greenback, and we've seen activities from FPIs coming in, and then we've seen supply side being able to match demand on that space. And what we've been seeing last week was a whole lot of activities from FPIs. However, this week we've seen a blend of both local supply and international supply in that space, and we've seen the presence of the central bank coming there and then to just ensure that demand pressures are calmed down. And then we've seen that appreciation coming from Monday, where we saw the CBN closing rate close at 15.13. We've seen market close yesterday at an average of 15.06 across board.
And talking about inflows, the CBN governor is optimistic about pushing the numbers here, targeting about $1 billion monthly diaspora remittance inflows. Do you think we can achieve that, coming from the track record where we've seen some sustained improvement? $250 million, now about 600. Do you think we can achieve that for next year?
Yeah, I believe the environment is ripe for us to achieve that. However, the CBN has already imputed policies, and they are ready to implement more policies that would aid the reinvention of the market and increase diaspora remittances. Coming from where they met the market at 200 million per month, we've seen it grow to about 600 million diaspora remittances per month. And then the CBN governor is putting it to the banks to drive to meet up that target of 1 billion next year per month in diaspora remittances. What I believe the banks will do is to employ both product and promotional strategies to drive meeting that strategy and that target. I believe it's possible going into next year.
Possibility is the watchword here. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Kinskin, thanks a lot for your time. That was Kinskin Ukeje, Treasury Team Member at Axis Bank.